Insanity lived last night. Trae Young's half-court shot will get the attention of the nation, but we'll look at it from a Jazz perspective, where one play was super insane. The rest screwed the living you-know-what out of us, and we'll talk about the rest of it all coming up on today's edition of Locked on Jazz.
You are Locked on Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
How are you? I'm David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz, Jazz NBA insider. This is Locked on Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz, giving you insight, expertise, geeky numbers, and hopefully making it way better to be a Jazz fan each and every day. Thank you so much for making Locked on Jazz your first listen of the day. We are free and available on all podcasting apps and on YouTube and on Amazon Fire TV. So glad to have you aboard. Thanks so much for making the time and making us your first listen of the day. On today's show, I'm going to close the show with why the league is insane, I don't understand, and really, if you want to rebuild, what you got to do. Second thing we're going to talk about is all the big plays last night for Isaiah Collier and Cody Williams to be on the floor for. But we're going to start with just kind of reliving that final 10, 12 minutes of that game last night. A great one, ending with the Trae Young shot. But there's a lot of moments before it, including one of the most insane plays I've seen by the what's the word I'm looking for? Unsuppressible. Is that a word? Let's go with it. Collin Sexton, who is just truly amazing. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. I do want to take a second. There's an app called Local Now. Lets you watch local news across the country, and I'm watching KCAL out of LA this morning. I know there are a lot of Jazz fans in Los Angeles that listen to this show. I can see the data on it. I went to college there, so I have a strong tie to the area. Thoughts are with everyone. This is mind-boggling, horrific, and hopefully stops at some point. And so thoughts are with you. I don't know, thoughts are with you if you're touched by someone there. I'm pretty certain that if you're involved, you're not tuning into Locked on Jazz today. If you are, this is certainly to take you from a respite of it, and I hopefully will give you that. Can we go to the final play of the game from Collin Sexton? Okay, I know we all want to talk about the Trae Young play. Can we talk about what Collin Sexton did the play before that? It was truly incredible. It's one of the most amazing effort, energy plays. The theme that's going to close this show today is that this league gets obsessed with deciding to degrade players. Collin Sexton's got all sorts of problems. I can break down to you that he missed a switch late and he did all these other things and all the rest of this. The energy that Collin Sexton showed and determination that Collin Sexton showed on the final play of the game last night to get that three, to me is like, I just want that. You can talk to me, he's too small. This league wants to just criticize every player all the time. And I'm part of it. He's too small. He doesn't make smart plays. His biggest strengths, his biggest weakness. Okay, I got it. Like, Collin Sexton is awesome. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to show this play, but I'm going to talk about it enough that you can see it. Collin Sexton, the Jazz inbound. I do not know what this inbound play is. There's 0.88 seconds left. They're trying to run a pick for Walker Kessler to get Lowry Markkanen open up top. It's interesting. The Jazz have another play they've run recently that was brilliant. They didn't run it this time. And Capella switches on the top side, but Collier's looking the whole entire time. And Trae Young has got his back to Collier. To Walker on a post-up in the middle of the lane. And my only thought is that with 8.8 seconds left and a timeout left, will it decide to go for a quick two? And my guess is this is supposed to be a pass in to Walker, and Lowry's going to change directions, come back, get a handoff for a dunk. This is pretty risky that you're going to let Walker Kessler touch the ball and that they're going to foul him. It's pretty risky that you're throwing the ball inside the paint because of the fact that Quinn, I think, is a foul guy. and you're going to get fouled. So this is, another discussion. Collin Sexton is in the far right corner. This pass is going to the free throw line. The pass goes below the free throw line, and Daniels, who's an incredible defender, is switched on to Kessler. He reaches around the left shoulder of Kessler, the side which is being inbounded, and knocks the ball away. And Collin Sexton starts in the right corner. And Dyson Daniels is one step away from the ball. And actually, Lowry's not heading on a back cut yet. So I still am not quite sure what was happening on this play. And Collin Sexton is near the sideline, free throw line extended. And Trae Young's right next to the ball. And there are three guys close to the ball. And Collin Sexton sprints through all of the players, knocks the ball, follows the ball. Cody Williams, I don't even think Cody Williams touches it. Collin Sexton just knocks the ball, runs it down on the other side of the floor, gets it, collects himself, shakes the defender, and hits a three. I am telling you, if Trae Young doesn't hit that shot, that's one of the most incredible plays I've seen. Truly, truly insane play by Collin Sexton last night. You've just got to love Collin Sexton for this last night. This inbound from Collier comes to Kessler. It gets knocked away. There's no business Collin has getting the ball. And then he runs it down himself, shakes the defender, and hits the three. Insanity. And awesome. So let's just start there for a second. And it's going to be my theme at the end of this thing. But Collin Sexton is wonderful. We can see Collin Sexton all the time, and I can get into that, that he and Trae Young and Bogdan Bogdanovic had a play, and Collin didn't switch it, and Trae Young takes so much attention that you don't switch that right, and it happens. And we can talk. I thought, honestly, I never talk officiating. We got jacked last night. That's not the word I want to use, but, I mean, the touch foul on Collin Sexton on Trae Young at the top in a 1-point game with 30 seconds left when we can do anything but foul. I mean, Collin's probably too close. We probably shouldn't swipe. But are you freaking kidding me? You're going to call that? Right after you call Lowry Markkanen for an imaginary push on Trae Young when he flops? Honestly, every day or no, I never come on here and complain about the officiating. Those were two horse crap calls. I mean, if we were in a playoff race and we were battling for positioning and we got screwed on those two calls, I'd be beside myself. I mean, those are truly from an NBA official. I'll be curious to the 2-minute report tonight because this is where NBA officiating's 2-minute report is bullcrap. And that is both those calls will be deemed as correct because Lowry Markkanen did extend out the left hand on Trae Young. And Collin Sexton did swipe and hit, but those aren't fouls. All right. I don't want to get lost in that, but that's crappy calls. All right. And the game swings absolutely on those two calls, by the way. That determined the game. Like, we can go to the Trae Young three. The game determined on those. This was awesome. We made mistakes. We had big plays. We missed shots. We didn't call a timeout and got a perfect, with 30 seconds left. We came off a good defensive possession. DeAndre Hunter missed a three. We got the rebound. We brought it up quickly, and we got a wide open 3-point shot for Lowry Markkanen in the left corner. Wide open. He missed it. He was brilliant all night. He had 35, but he missed that. I'm not criticizing. I mean, but I love the fact that we've had this question whether we time out or don't time out, and the guys didn't time out, and they pushed it ahead, and they got the ball to the corner to Lowry. It was perfectly executed play. And then Walker Kessler scored 10 straight points and did it in a myriad of different ways. Like, really impressive. Walker scored 10 straight points. If I have it correctly, he hits 2 clutch free throws with 2:15 left. He goes to the line after getting an offensive rebound and getting fouled, and he makes both free throws. With 1:33 left, he gets a tip-in. With 3:05 left, he hits a little left-handed hook shot. He puts back a dunk with with 4 minutes left and with 3:32 left. I mean, Walker saves the game. With 4 minutes left, Lowry misses a three. Walker gets the rebound, puts it back up, a little left-hand hook, I think it was. Collier misses a shot with 3:33. Walker puts the dunk on a fast break push, and Kessler dunks it. Kessler rolls off of a screen from Lowry Market, and they double team Lowry at 3:05. Walker catches and dunks. Kessler makes both free throws. Sexton misses a layup. Walker gets the follow and dunks. It's the only points we score until Sexton's three-point shot from the 4:40 mark to the Sexton's three-point shot are on Walker Kessler, either that rolling dunk or second chance opportunities. Pretty great. Really pretty great. We're not good defensively late in games. We're 30th in the league in clutch defensively. And it showed again last night. They scored on 3 of 4, 3 of 5, 4 of 6. And then I'm just not going to count the free throws. 4 of 7 possessions, I think it was. Late. Hunter hits a three on a beautiful play by Trae where he pushes out off of really pretty well defended. Trae Young hits a tough step back three. We blow an assignment, and Bogdanovich gets a wide open three out of a timeout. That was a killer. 3:24 left. Those are the little mistakes we made. But that's a pretty great game. And you don't see half-court buzzer beaters very often. I don't mean to bury the lead. But to us, I don't know that that's the lead. I think the lead to us is the effort and energy from Collin Sexton, the play by Walker. Frankly, they went after Lowry one-on-one in a way that I haven't seen teams do, which is smart because Lowry's isolation numbers are way worse than Walker Kessler's. A lot of people go after Walker. Walker's pretty good. And he's pretty on the other side. Lowry's not very good. He's last in the league for about the last 2 months. And Lowry held his own on 2 possessions. So pretty cool stuff. What a night. All right, huge moments for Isaiah Collier and Cody Williams, and Cody continues to show a flash or two that has to excite you. We'll talk about that as we continue here on Locked On Jazz. Wednesday edition of Locked On Jazz is brought to you by our friends over at Intercap Lending. That is Steve Carter. Steve Carter is our own personal loan officer. Intercap Lending has been with Locked On for probably 6-7 years now. They're great. They sure shaking things up because they're making home loans accessible, straightforward, and personal. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, exploring options, as a veteran, Intercap is there to guide you. And we have our people-first approach with our own personal dedicated loan officer to you, the everydayer of Locked On, Steve Carter. That means you're not just a number. We get you the most elite, Trae Young passing level, VIP skills of Steve Carter to take care of you. Intercap understands the overwhelming home buying process can be, and Steve Carter uses everything from digital tools to just good old-fashioned customer service to make sure it's easy and great for you. Malcolm said, amazing, knowledgeable, helpful, friendly, went way above and beyond. That is the essence. Derek Dye said, super easy to work with, got us approved, closed on a house in under 3 weeks, and the app makes everything a breeze. It's Intercap Lending with Steve Carter. You can email me at dlock09@gmail.com. That's dlock09@gmail.com, and I'll get you set up with your VIP meeting with Steve Carter that you deserve as a Locked On every day, or take advantage of this. It is absolutely awesome that Steve Carter will do this for you along the way. Today's show is also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the official ticketing app of Locked On, and Game Time wants to give you everything you want out of a ticketing app. Why do I think use Game Time? Because Game Time checks every box of everything I want, and Game Time is making it even better now with Game Time picks. And when I say it makes everything I want, well, I want to be able to see the view of my seat. I want all-in pricing. I don't want to be surprised by what I'm getting with my pricing. I want to make sure that I have a ticket guarantee. And I don't want to fiddle through 1,000 tickets at one time, trying to figure out which one is best. Game Time knows my preferences, figures it out, and gives me Game Time picks. It's all there at Game Time. Taking the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today, What time is it? It's game time. What a night. That was so fun. Thanks very much for making Locked On Jazz your first listen of the day. Yesterday, we had a YouTube question. What aspects of Bryce Sensabaugh's recent performance has impressed you the most? 48% said confidence. 23% said quicker decision-making. 20% said improved three-point shooting, and ability to score off the ball was 10%. Should the Jazz try to trade for De'Aaron Fox was another question we asked a little while ago. 66% said no. 25% said yes. 9% said go after Domantas Sabonis instead. What a game last night. Cody Williams played a lot of minutes last night and had a few different flashes that were pretty great. Cody Williams last night had a left-hand drive to the basket that is, I don't want to get too excited about it in the sense that, it's just a singular play and he needs to start stacking plays. But these are the plays. And when I loved him in college, the reason were these plays. He would make a play in a game and then it was an NBA play. And there just weren't a lot of guys that were making NBA plays like that in last year's draft. And so Cody jumped. Criticism of Cody during this time period was that too often it was then you didn't see another play for 10 or 15 minutes, or you didn't see another play. And that's still true, right? He needs to find a way to impact more than just a play a night. But let's just kind of quickly watch this play on YouTube. If you're watching or if you're on audio, he gets it. He's guarded by Trae Young, who's not a good defender. So take advantage of it. He used to kind of passively roll off it. Marketing comes set a pick. And then Cody just explodes with a left-hand dribble drive in through traffic, comes off 1 foot, rises up, and finishes at the cup. Okay, it's not a wild, crazy play, but there actually just aren't that many guys in the NBA that can do this, particularly at his size and his length. And as he gets bigger and stronger, he does a nice job of luring Trae Young into the pick. He drives. Capella comes over. He comes off 1 foot, which is massively important on your ability to score in the NBA. And he rises up over Capella with a left hand and finishes at the cup. Okay, that's the flash. That's what makes you think Cody Williams has a chance, because there just actually weren't that many players in this draft that could do that. Now, the criticism of Cody Williams coming out was that those happened once every now and then. And my story on Cody Williams, at least that I told myself, was that because of veterans like KJ Simpson and the big guy in the middle and Tristan da Silva, that he was passive because the seniors dominated all the time. He didn't get a chance. And once he got an opportunity, he would be able to explode and emerge and become. I might have told myself a story, but those moments are still there. He had another one late in the game where he drove to the basket, got in the lane, wrapped a pass around for one of his 3 assists of the night, and it's a beautiful play. And again, when you put Cody Williams' size, right now lack of strength, not lack of strength, together, you have a chance with this guy. These are the plays that make you think to yourself, we've got a chance. And he literally was not making any of them before he went to the G League. So, the reason you send someone to the G League, here, Cody, is they played with the fourth quarter last night with Patty Mills on the floor. They let Cody Williams run the offense. The play I'm talking about, it's a double stagger, left to right. He comes off the 2 picks. Eubanks drives. Cody comes with the right hand this time. He brings the defender to him. He comes off 1 foot and he wraps the pass around to Eubanks, who lays it up and in. Not a world-class crazy play, but pretty good. Those are the plays that matter, because they're the flashes that show me that your skill set is different than everybody else. That means you can stay in the NBA because you have that. And now the question is, can you start to stack this into more than 2 plays a night? Can you do it with more confidence? Can you get physically stronger? Let's talk about Walker Kessler. He's dominating games right now. He leads the NBA in offensive rebounding. He is a force. He is getting close to being the first thing on the scouting report right now. He couldn't do this last year. He couldn't do this the year before. He got strong enough and big enough to be able to do this, to make plays. We played someone the other day, and the coach commented that the young player was getting stronger through the weight room as the year went on. It must have been Eric Spoelstra talking about Khalil Ware. And that's a big one. I don't know what Cody's doing, but it's hard to gain strength during the season. It takes a lot of work and a lot of diligence, and it's hard to do it. Like, he's going to have to try to do that. But those two plays by Cody Williams last night in big moments in marquee are exactly what we're talking about. And then Isaiah Collier last night, it's just, again, big moments. This growth is what you're looking for. Collier last night has 9 assists. He's not Trae Young, but he has 9 assists. He has 6 rebounds. Yeah, the shooting is a huge problem. Like, okay, but let's, as Will said the other night, let's not stamp these guys. It's probably a complete rebuild of a shot. It's going to take some time, but all the other pieces for a 1 year out of college player are getting there and are pretty interesting. Because Isaiah Collier had 9 assists last night. He had 6 rebounds. He ran the show. He was on the floor for all the final minutes. He did all of the things that you're like, those are hard things. His basketball IQ on both these guys, Will said it last night. Are they making the right decision at the right time is the first place to start. If they're not, it's really hard to make the next decision. Like, if you're not making the right play at the right time, you have to teach something entirely different. Both Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier are making the right plays for the most part. I like the fact that, frankly, Isaiah took 3 threes and is kind of willing to take them right now. They'll start to go in. Yeah, he's shooting 31% from the field and 15% from 3. It's a super big issue. But the rest of it is pretty interesting. He's learning how to play pressure defense. He's learning how to run the offense. He has 2 or 3 really bad turnovers a night, it feels like, and I don't think I saw them last night. He is not figured out how to finish at the rim. He's not big enough and strong enough to do it. He had 2 turnovers and 9 assists last night. It's great. So those were big, big minutes for Isaiah Collier and Cody Williams last night. Cody played 29 minutes last night. Collier played 26. Now, when Bryce is available and Keontae is available, I don't know how, we got a lot of guys that need a lot of time. Some roster thinning, it seems like a viable, reasonable thing to do, but I don't know who you thin. And I'll tell you what, you let me see that one play by Collin Sexton, I want him on my team forever. I mean, that is awesome. That is the energy and commitment that you want from someone to just do amazing things. And I just absolutely awesome energy. Super game. I also think it exposed to me, and maybe this is easy. We're going to do what's easy. We're going to play GM from this chair, you and I. Because I think this whole season and last night have exposed one of the biggest problems in this league. And I think it's super important for the Utah Jazz in this rebuild. It's next on Locked On Jazz. Today's show is brought to you in part by Ultimate GM. This is pretty fun. So I want to introduce you to this brand new mobile game. It's kind of like my old board games when I was a kid. I used to play Stratomatic and Status Pro. This is the modern version. It's called Ultimate College Basketball HQ. So if you've ever dreamed of being a college basketball head coach or GM, this is your chance to step into those shoes. In Ultimate College Basketball HC, head coach, you control every detail of your program, from recruiting players, hiring coaching staff, overseeing training camps, handling nil deals, managing scholarships. It's all in your hand. You want to give $8 million to the number one to the number one prospect, you can do it. So when it comes to game time, you drop offensive plays, you set your strategy. The way you play won't just affect the current season, will shape your future of your school's basketball program. It's a game that lets you feel the full weight of what it means to be a head coach and lead your team to glory. Kids will love this also. This is great. This is literally what I did playing Stratomatic and Status Pro as a kid. Here's your special offer as a Locked On NBA listener and Locked On Jazz listener. Use the promo code Locked On CBB. Okay? All caps. Locked On CBB. College basketball BB. Got it? Okay. Inside the game store, you can get a free boost for your program. It's a perfect way to kickstart your coaching career. To download Ultimate College Basketball HC, visit ultimate-cbb.com. Ultimate-cbb.com Look it up on the app stores. Ultimate College Basketball HC. Begin your coaching legacy today. This league's nuts. Trae Young was seemingly, again, these are all seemingly, we never really know, there for the taking. He was there for the taking. Karl-Anthony Towns most definitely was there for the taking. I said it last year. If I was a team, I would trade for both, not one. Two of the most elite offensive players in the entire NBA. And yeah, we can get into Trae's too small. And maybe Trae's got some personality issues. And why? Like, Jalen Brunson is thought of as the 10th best player in the NBA in the Ringer 100. Trae Young is every bit as good as he is, if not better. We somehow just decided league-wide with some weird thing to just degrade who Trae Young is and decide that he's not that good. And, like, what are we talking about? The dude makes 7 passes a night, first play of the game, that nobody else makes. So there's two things here that I think are absolutely insane. One, if you go to the Ringer top 100, Trae Young ranks 36 in the NBA. No freaking way. Derek White is not better than Trae Young. No way. So the first thing is how we get this collective body that we just start to... LaMelo Ball is not better than Trae Young right now. How we get there that we just decide to just degrade these players, I don't know. The second thing that I really just don't understand is how the most talented players in some area are available and teams aren't just clamoring to go get them. New York got Karl-Anthony Towns, who's probably a top 20 player in the NBA. They both are. For a song. And now they have the second best offense in the NBA. Because Karl-Anthony Towns is the greatest shooting big man the game's ever seen. Trae Young is one of the 10 best passing guards the game has ever seen. And we in the league just decided to degrade them to a point where it was like, oh, well, I don't want him. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I don't want Trae. What are you talking about? Like, why? Because he's not perfect? Can I ask you who is perfect? Because Giannis isn't perfect. He can't shoot the outside shot. Like, if we're going to, if we, not we, a team is going to do a rebuild, you don't get a guy until they're perfect? Luka's not perfect. He doesn't play any defense. He's amazing. And by the way, this is the craziest thing to me about all this. Last offseason, you run down the Ringer's top 100 players. It's always what we use. Like, those players those top players, there is a De'Aaron Fox, if he's really available, is like a top 20 NBA. People should be giving up bushels of picks and players and things for De'Aaron Fox. I don't love him. He's not perfect. He shoots 33% from 3. He's great. And somehow we start in this league as a collective we, not Justin Zanuck or Ryan Smith or Danny Ainge or David Locke, collective we decide to degrade these players and somehow forget how incredible their greatness is. Domantas Sabonis cannot protect the rim. If he is available, go get him someone. He is great. Karl-Anthony Towns is a wacky, weird, mercurial, strange, mentally greatest shooting big man in the game. Has terrible playoff moments where he feigns fouls and greatest shooting big man in the league. Stop complicating this. Trae Young is the best passer this game has seen since either Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, or John Stockton. Stop complicating this. Teams should have given away a lot for Trae Young. He's incredible. And by the way, go to the Ringer, NBArankings.com.ringer.com. And other than De'Aaron Fox right now, find me a player in the top 40 in the NBA that's going to become available anytime soon. These players don't become available. And they were there. How Atlanta didn't go trade for Karl-Anthony Towns and just decide, we're going to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. We're going to have Trae Young. And we're going to score 150 points a night. I mean, frankly, If you want entertainment, we go trade for Trae Young, Karl-Anthony Towns in the offseason. We probably could have done it without giving up Lowry Markkanen. We would have allowed 125 a night. We would have scored 130 and won 50 games. What do we want, a title? Jeez Louise, the amount of guys that can win a title, like, to me, that's just not a standard. I know that's what, like, everyone wants to say, oh, you only do this to win a title. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we might have. Trae Young, Lowry Markkanen, and Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm making this up, might have outscored people 4 out of 7 games a night of a series. Might have. Just, 4 out of 7. Yeah, come guard us. Oh, by the way, we're running pick and roll with 7-footers that can shoot 40% from 3. Good fucking luck. You got no chance. Oh, by the way, your big is nowhere near the rim, and here comes Trae Young to the basket. You have no chance. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get. It's like we all want to be so smart, and and I'm not, like, again, this is just a collective we. David Locke, Nate Duncan, was Zach Lowe. We all kind of did this. We actually should just be talking about how great players are. De'Aaron Fox is the fastest guy in the league, one of the greatest rim penetrators, one of the best mid-range shooters. He's awesome. Domantas Sabonis is the best rebounder in the league. You can run an entire offense through him. He conducts, he creates opening for other plays. He's awesome. Yeah, he can't protect the rim at all. Figure it out. But take awesome and run with awesome. If awesome's available, go get it. And somehow this league gets lost on that. It's Locked on Jazz, your daily podcast in the Utah Jazz. Thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you on YouTube, we're going to send you over to the national 24/7 channel, Locked on NBA. If you have not followed me on any of my socials, it's DLock09. Please do so. If you have not signed up for the newsletter, please do so. It's Locked on Daily. You got exclusive Emptying the Noggin from last night, going through the whole fourth quarter and all the big plays of the game. And if you've not subscribed to the show, please do. I love having you here. You can subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell button, or you can do it on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're following the show. It is Locked on Jazz. Thanks so much for tuning in, and make sure you add Locked on NBA game night after all the games every night as your second listen of the day. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.